Hello and welcome everybody to Gp2 here for Speed Force Racing. I am James or Cadwell, and alongside me tonight, as always, is You Can Beat Me.
Hello everyone, hello James, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
Right, so
How are
looking
you?
forward to a great race tonight.
Yep, and just to be polite, how are you?
Yep, I'm good too. In fact, I raced with the GP4 drivers as a reserve, and believe me, it was a tough race. I went through four wings, or rather two wings rather, and my teammate Sonic also went probably through a couple of wings. So it was an okay day for Ferrari. Let's see how these GP2 drivers get along on the circuit.
Yeah, let's see how they get along on the circuit then. Let's take you through the championship standings in GP2 then. Let's take a look as we head through them then. So in the lead is Omegs on 160 points. Second is Nelly on 143. Then it's Mackett in third on 134. Then it is Morris Pace in fourth. Fifth, very close behind Morris Pace, is X Gamer. Then it's sixth Mansell, seventh Senna Martins, eighth Cobalt, ninth is Cassidy, 10th is Luke Bailey, 11th is Nadim, 12th is Cowan Rob, 13th is Quintin, then it's BP Magna in 15th, 16th Lord Alum, MX Limitless in 17th, Slav in 18th, Schwabe, who may be here tonight, I don't know, in 19th, and 20th is DJ Glee, or Galley, there he is, meaning that it is 236 points to Haas at the moment, who are leading the championship. Second in your constructors are Williams with 228. 217 is Renault, then it's McLaren, Ferrari, Alfa Romeo, Red Bull, then it is Alpha Tauri, Racing Point, and last but not least is Mercedes.
Right, very strange to see Mercedes at the bottom of the constructors, but that's what virtual racing is,
Yep.
James. And Haas at the top, that's very peculiar too, with Williams close behind. But yeah, as always, very, very close grid, and the championship standings for constructors as well as drivers. So, should be a good way to end the season, I believe. It should be a lot of close battles we will be witnessing.
It should be indeed. As you can see, it's 160 plays 143 at the top of the championship, and even lower down there's battles still with Senna and Cobalt for P7. Loads of them here tonight as we're here at Singapore. As you were saying, before we went on stream, I think it was one of the trickiest circuits, this one here. I really don't like the circuit, gotta be said.
I actually love it, James. The only thing is, I crash a lot, or I'm just not consistent around here. But I actually like driving around here. It keeps me on the edge. And Omegs was actually serving a quali ban, so he has retired on the session. So he will not be leaving his pits tonight in terms of the quali. But yeah, just to finish that thought, I think it's an interesting circuit. I would rate it a little higher than Monaco because it is possible to overtake around here, and strategy does play a role. It is not a simple one stop. Two stops have also been proven faster in the past. So we should be seeing a lot of medium running in quali, but maybe someone is bold enough to put the softs, and if they're qualifying high up front, they can pull a gap and maybe make a two stop work as well.
Indeed, as we can see the qualifying out right now, they are on circuit. The first one out is Rob. Just to say that everyone's gone on the softs tonight for the first stint. It'll be interesting to see. Maybe it could be raining in the race start. We don't know. We haven't been told anything, but that could be the case.
Yeah, I would like to be surprised what's happening in the race because it is interesting that everyone is on the softs. So what you said could very well be a possibility. And if it is indeed raining for at least the start of the race, that should be a treat to watch because Singapore in rain is, in my opinion, probably one of the toughest tracks on the calendar to keep the car on the black stuff and still bring it home. So should be interesting. Let's see.
I think it was last season with this championship when we were in. Because I joined, I think, halfway through last season for GP2 anyway, and I think it was last season's race. We had right near the end of the race, it was raining, so as we can say, anything can happen. I think it was the last like 5 or 6 laps we had rain, and came down very heavily. So we'll have to wait and see what happens tonight. As here goes Rob then on a lap right now of the circuit. Goes out the last corner and across the line now, and he'll be the first one to start the lap here tonight. Always know around this circuit, I believe anyway, is to get the first sector, is to get the first couple of corners right, and then you're good on this lap, I would say.
You're right, because there are a couple of places where you are just at the limit in terms of corner cutting. As he hits the wall there could be damage. There's an end plate flying there. So Kevin Raw, for the second and the third sector, he will be losing a lot of downforce, which is key around this track.
It is. It is very key around here. Let's see what he can still do though. He nearly taps the wall there into sector 2 there, he does. Before he goes over the bridge here, he does. That is not what we wanted to see from Cameron Robb there, nearly hitting the wall again. But he's kept it clean at the moment. He's about to head into sector 3 in a second. Let's see then what he can do here as he's about to head into sector 3. It's only 14 tonight, by the way, and 2 are, I think, are reserves tonight. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens here. It is.
Behind him I see one of the Ferraris, that's Avinelli, on a lap. He's in the second sector and through the hairpin.
Let's see how Rob can do now then as he comes into the last couple of corners. Now he's got one more corner to go. Here he has. It's kind of a... Oh no, he's pitting because of that wing damage. It would have been It would have been a 36 or something there, but it's going to be instead... It's going to be instead Luke Bailey who sets the first lap, which is a 35.2. Here comes Nelly then, second lap, 34.1, pole position at the moment.
As Martin is retired, I'm not sure what happened there. Let's follow one of the horses here. As he retired, yeah, he has on the track, so that's his car stranded in the third sector, and he has retired from the session, so that's a bit of a surprise. But Luke Bailey's time, James, it was a damaged wing. He was nursing through the final sector. I think just at the entry of the final sector, he did hit the wall, so he must have lost a lot of downforce there. As Morris Pace goes P3 now with a 34.1, so 2 people already in the 34.1s. And Marquette has put an absolutely smashing time. He is into the 33s already.
He is. Let's see what it'll be interesting to see tonight what happens. His teammate tonight, though, Mackett's teammate, has set a 34.1. But look at that, Swabe, who must have, hopefully tonight he has better internet than he did last week, has just set a 33.8 right now. Which is, by the way, 33.82. Which is 0.012 quicker than Mackett's time, which is incredible.
It is going to be quite close. It's a long lap, but I think that's the level of the drivers here, that in spite of it being a long lap, they are able to keep it close. As here comes Hookie round the final corner. It goes P7.
Yeah, and it's you are right with it's a long lap around here, and anything can happen really around here, as you say, because wings can fly and hit. If you just make a tiny little hit the wall, you lose a lot of time around here, and it's a killer circuit really if you think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, I'm not sure if this works in the game, but we have seen it often when the qualifying happens here in real life Formula 1, where commentators do mention the importance of keeping the rear tires till the last. So I'm not sure if that actually is factored in the game as a tire wear model, but if you push too hard on the first and maybe the second sector, you don't have enough tires left for the third sector and you lose a lot of time. So maybe some amount of tire management, if that is even possible in quali, could also play a part here.
Yeah, tire wear is probably is possible. I believe it is. But let me tell you then, it is, by the way, the current layout of the circuit we're at now, by the way, if you didn't want you to know, is 5.063 kilometers long, which is 3.146 miles. And today by the way, we are doing, I think it's
31, yeah.
31 laps. So should be a lot of fun there. It is. It should. And the fastest lap ever around here is by Kevin Magnussen, a 1:42.301 in the race.
That's really interesting. So I'm assuming that would be in a McLaren when he was driving for them.
That was that was in 2019. Sorry, and that was in the Haas. So that was the quickest lap then. I'll try and find the quickest lap ever around here if I can find it. I will find it now for you.
Right, Mansell goes P6 with a 35.1. Mansell needs good points here. His race in Italy wasn't according to plan, and he would be hoping to bounce back and trouble some people at the top here again.
Yeah, fastest lap ever is by Kevin Magnussen in 2018 in the Haas, 1:41.905 in the race. So there you go, and that, yeah, because that is what we have here. But anyway, out laps right now is Mackett, Nelly, Morris Pace, and Quintin. We've got Mansell, who's about to come in on an in lap, I think he is. Who's the closest to the finish line right now?
It is Kevin Drop, but he has actually invalidated his time, so that will not really count. He might be coming into the pits now because
who's next to
come? There's a Haas in sector 2. It's probably Morris Pace. He will be the next one to start his flying lap actually. There's a huge gap, not a lot of drivers. Omex has already retired because of a scolly ban. Martin retired because of a crash on probably his hot lap. So just 12 drivers who will be getting the times here. And interesting choice by Omex, James. He chose not to take that quali ban in Italy, but he chose to take that in Singapore, which is much harder to overtake and track position is key. So he would most probably be going on an alternate strategy, but it also makes his race all the more difficult, especially if there are safety cars, because then it gives a chance to the front pack to pit again and still retain track position. In any case, it's Morris who's preparing, and maybe you want to take us through this lap, James.
Yeah, we'll go on board with somebody who's just coming out of the last corner now, which is Quintin, and we'll take you on a lap aboard of him then, because this is going to give you a full lap of the circuit then, down into the first corner. Now you go, drop it down into about 4th gear, clip both curbs, don't go too onto the curbs too much, because you can invalidate your laps doing it. Then head down quite a shortish straight, which you brake, go down to about 4th gear, then you pop the throttle on down the DRS straight here. You do a very long DRS straight. This one here is up to 8th gear, and I would do it just before the 50-meter board. Brake down to about 4th or 3rd gear through the corner. There you go, and then into the next couple of corners. It's a tight. I think it's very tight and twist this circuit, as we see Quintin right now heading around. We have a car in front of him here who is Morris Pace, who does get out of the way eventually by the time Quintin does get to his car, so Quintin does not lose any time here. Clipping both the curbs there, now over the Anderson Bridge, I think it is, as he goes here. Very nice there. In 4th or 3rd gear you go through that corner there, that very tight hairpinny corner. Up the gears you go now into the braking zone here for the start of sector 3, which is very nicely done here by Quintin. Oh, as Nelly sets a 33.7, just to interrupt my lap time there, 33.7.65 I think it was. And he's gone pole position now. He has. See what Quintin can do underneath the bridge, underneath the grandstand. Sorry, actually it is there. As they brake, clipping both curbs again. He does here out of 3rd gear now, up to about 4th or 5th. When you get to the last corner, you brake a tiny bit, but not a lot, and then out of it now. And he sets a 34.006, 1/10 quicker than his fastest lap there, and just behind his teammate, which is Mackett. So there you go. That's a lap then around the circuit.
Yeah, good lap from Quintin. Just about missed the apex in a couple of corners in the final sector, but nonetheless a very decent lap. And I think he took a little bit of a too much curb in the last chicane in the final sector, which probably unsettled his car and wasn't able to get on the power easily, as Shoaib seems to be on a lap right now in the Mercedes. He's gone too deep there.
He is.
He's gone too deep in the hairpin. Let's see if he's gained time to sector 2. He has. He's more than a 10th up on his time. If he's able to keep this advantage, it will be very, very close between him and Avinelli.
Let's see then what Swabe can do as he exits the last chicane, well, kind of chicane kind of section there. He does exit now into the last corner. He comes now. He's still on a good lap here. This still could be pole position for Swabe here. Nope, it won't be. It will. A 30.
It's very close.
Yes, it is indeed a 33.751 compared to a 33.765, which is 0.014 quicker. He is there. And it comes to tell you that every small little bit of margin can help you around here. It sure can. As we head a bit further down now, we do to somebody on a lap right now who's Mansell on a lap 1/10 quicker here. And he's decided to go on the mediums.
And he's up by 4/10.
Is that the right call? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. As here he comes then, brakes now in underneath the grandstand where loads of people do watch races from. Let's see now what's going to happen then. Exits the final corner and goes P7 with a, I think he stays P7 actually, with a 44.701.
He stays P7. Mediums could be a good call around here. In fact, that I was assuming that would be the preferred strategy, but it seems like the Gp2 drivers, who are definitely much faster than me, believe otherwise. But if it were me and I knew I could get into the top 10 on the mediums, I would probably prefer a mediums to hard strategy, if it's a dry race, of course. So let's see. Maybe it would be really scary if the laps which you see right now are actually banker laps from the top guys and they are hoping to put a faster one on medium. That would be really, really crazy. But is Mackett on a lap right now? He is on a lap in that McLaren.
He is. We'll go to look at that in a second, because Cowan Rob, who is completing his first lap here, Rob is across the line now. He comes and sets a 33.745. Goes pole position there. He does with a 133.745. Very quick lap from him there. What about Mackett here? He's 800ths. That is 800ths. It's nothing really up on his time here.
It's very close to the top three, James. Top three within. It's 200ths of each other, so it's really, really close, and it's all small margins here. I think Kevin Robb is done with his collie here. I don't think he can put another lap in, so we have to wait for Schwab and Vinelli to put in the final lap. So we're still in the pits, by the way. It's a long lap around here, and Mackett has just invalidated his lap, as we were just saying.
He does. Will he go for one more? No, he won't. He decides to pit. Let's see then who else is on a lap right now. Morris Paces, I think, or is this an in lap? We'll have to wait and see when he gets to the next zone. But nope, he is on a lap here. He is. Let's see what he can do then on this lap. It looks full throttle here. Let's see if he can. Mackett retires. Decided he's done enough in the pits. Let's see then as Morris exits final corner now. To the line he comes. It's going to be a 33.666 pole position for Morris, and it's, oh my goodness me, top four separated by 900ths. It's crazy.
It is absolutely crazy over here. Just about 1/10 in that top four, and this is absolutely this is something which we have seen all season, and this is something which even the championship standings reflect. So this is a very, very tight division with drivers. The ability of them is very, very close to each other. So when Rob has retired, and I'm not sure if Shoaib can make it to the end here on these tires, because he's left it really late, and I don't think he can cross the finish line before the checkered flag falls. He's on an outlap right now. He's pushing because he knows he can't waste time here, and he's behind Hookie, who also is a run out lap as he goes out of the way here.
Here goes Nelly, let's see what he can do. Across the line he comes, and he's going to start his lap now, he is. But let's go to Quintin, who's on a lap right now, he is, in the third sector. And this is interesting for Quintin, here it is. What can he do underneath in this third sector for his lap here? He comes to the line, 2 attempts quicker. That is put him, wow, put him 8 hundredths, or nearly 9 hundredths away from your lead of the race. That is unbelievable lap time there from him. Swabe is coming to the line and has crossed it. Swabe has crossed it. He's got his lap here.
He has, and just to update you on Evinelli's lap, he is 700s down in the first sector, so he has a lot of time to make up before he can challenge the top guys here. But again, so very close.
It is. Oh, he's up in the second sector by 2 hundredths, by nearly 300. Well, it's 300 technically in the second sector. This is close. Let's see then what his lap time's going to be as he exits the final corner now. Does Vinelli, he comes to the line now, he does 33.668. He's 2 thousandths off the lead. That is.
You know what, James? Shoaib is on a cracker of a lap here. If he holds this together, he's 3 tenths up in the second sector. So this could be very well a lap for pole here. If he's just a bit patient and precise. That was nicely done. Almost lost the car there. And he does go pole.
133.572, he goes there. Mansell's just improved as well. So Hookie's just improved there. He has up to P8 very nicely indeed. Last car to come across the line will be James TLH. Is he going to come across the line? No, he decides to pit his car. Here he does. But that is your qualifying over. What a qualifying that was. The top, by the way, still the top 3 separated by 9 hundredths of a second. It is that close around here. It is unbelievable. The top 6 separated by 2.5 tenths. It's incredible. And it's going to be a great race coming up in a second for everyone who's watching.
Yeah, very very close qualifying section here. It is a bit of a surprise considering the length of the track and a lot of technical sections with traction zones mixed up as well. So kudos to the drivers for putting up on a show. And look at that, it's, as you said, just 2.5 seconds between the top 6. That is very close, and we have a mix of constructors as well, so this should be a lot of fun, except the 2 McLarens on the third row. All different constructors in the top 4, so this would be a good one going into the race.
It should be indeed. Let me tell you, it's Swabe leads you away by 900, by 0.095 actually from Morris Pace. Then it's Nelly, two thousandths behind him. Then it's Calvin Robb, Quintin, Mackett, Luke Bailey, Hookie, Mansell and James, who you want to set lap times. Magna sadly didn't set a lap time today, didn't want to. Then it's your guys who didn't set laps today, who retired in the session, which was Martin, who crashed out, Cassidy and Omex, who had a qualifying bad, by the way. So here we go then, into the race we go now.
I'm not sure what happened to Magna there, since I don't think he put a lap in at all. So not really sure what happened there. It seems, oh, it's raining. It is raining, James. I can see droplets of rain, and this definitely is Inter's condition, if not full wets.
Oh yes, it's very very light rain on my screen. I can just see it now. We are here then. Let's just see what's going to happen then as we're waiting now for the race to start. We are here. So let's see what then can happen. As we go green on circuit, let me just check what it is tyre wise. It's intermediates. Now I wouldn't expect it to be intermediates because it doesn't look wet enough, but
It is a tricky one here, but I think sometimes the game doesn't put you on. It doesn't let you select the soft tires if it thinks it's wet enough for intermediate. You are right, it's not very wet around here, and you can see still a dry patch or a lot of dry track around on the circuit. So these are going to be tricky conditions because remember, if it's not wet enough and it's not raining enough and there is not a lot of water on the circuit, those inters heat up a lot. They are just burning and they're screeching, and this is a track which is known for tire temperatures anyway, so tire management would be key. I know this is a phrase which is used a lot in the real life F1, but it could hold true today because of these very very tricky conditions as Shoaib just locks up going into that corner, James.
he does. He does indeed. We are moments away from getting the race started. Here we are. It's going to be an interesting race coming up for everyone who's watching right now. Please do, of course, let us know in the comments if you want to talk about anything. We would love to hear it. Just to give you an idea again, Omegs Cassidy did not complete a single lap, and Martin crashed out on circuit.
He did, and Martin would be hoping to gain some places here, but this puts whole the strategy thing out of the window. Everyone is on the same tires, and I don't know if you noticed there, but the race strategy prediction was a one stopper or a two stopper, both on intermediate. So I don't know if that means that it's going to rain for the entire duration of the race, but if it is, we are in for a very very long race here. Singapore, anyways, even in the dry, is the longest race on the calendar, and especially if it's going to be wet, lap times will be slower and the race will be that much longer. So almost an endurance race here today, James.
Indeed, it is, and this race should be, it's roughly normally about 50 minutes this race, so 50 minutes to about 55 minutes, so a long race this one is here for everyone who is watching. Here it is. Just to say, I've heard that from Quintin yesterday. I was talking to Quintin yesterday because I was doing a league with him, commentary wise, and he said he's looking forward to tonight and hopefully he can do well around here because he's had a bit of practice around here. So there you go. He's looking confident for tonight.
Yep, and he put in a decent lap in as well, so he should be raring to go over here. And first of all, ensure that he doesn't have any contact with his teammate at the start, and then try to challenge the cars up front.
Well, let's have a look then. We are moments away from getting this race underway here, just waiting for the lights to come on. They're on now. 3 of them, 4 of them, 5 of them. And the Singapore Grand Prix is underway here. Good start from Swade, but Morris Page gets an even better start. He does here, but Nelly. What a start from Nelly this is here. 3 wide, down into corner 1 we go in the background. And a few go off wide because it's not wet enough for the intermediates. It's just enough at some points, but didn't look like there was wet enough. And I can see in the background there wings flying off and a few people making damages and contact with Magna going down to the back already. As Nelly now is side by side, Nelly is now with Rob, and Rob is trying to get past Nelly. Here he is into corner. He is here. Let's see if Nelly can get past here. Can he? Sorry, Rob. Yes, Rob is past Nelly. Or is he? Nelly's trying to get back past through. This is crazy at the start.
It's absolutely
a dive bomb in the background from James. And he's already opened 2 positions there. He's up 2 positions now. He is. Good move from James there it was.
Of course, James is up 3 positions in fact, as he hits the wall there at the exit, and that would definitely bring wing damage.
It might be. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Yes, it is. It is wing damage for him, but what a start from Swabe. He's already got a 6/10 gap to second, who is Morris Pace. Make that 3 seconds now, but in the background, Mackett trying to get back past for his teammate Quintin, and does.
It's a good move from Mackett, and yeah, as we were saying, it's important in these first laps to fight for the position while being respectful and while ensuring that you don't have damage, because track position is key here. You will not see a lot of overtaking around here because no DRS assistance in the wet conditions, and that's why. And the track characteristic is such that the only place you would rather want to overtake is in the pit stop. Morris goes really wide there and he's overtaken probably by one more car. No, he's not. But Morris has gone wide there. And Envinelli is through.
He is indeed. We'll keep an eye on what happens with the race in a second, because of course the game now is just having a bit of, does its normal change to get back to the front. Here it does, so we'll give us a second. Because it should be, by the way, if you wanted to know, Swabe leading the race right now. He is indeed leading. It is Swabe leading, Nelly second. There is your pit stop strategy again if you want to see it. 10 to 17 for the first stop, or 20 to 27 for the second, or just one stop at lap, a number, it said 12 to 18 there, so I think it said that. Let me just check. Actually, the one stop is 15 to 17, sorry. There it is. If you take the game in advice, but sometimes drivers don't, so
yeah, it also depends on how much tire wear they have on those tires, and it's always a difficult one in inters conditions because the kind of throttle application you use also determines your tire wear, so it's not as straightforward as in the wets. So we could see a lot of strategies here where some people would be going on hards and the others not hard, sorry, some people will be going on one stoppers, and some people might be inclined to do a two stopper, because here you want your tires to be in perfect condition in good temperatures, because that's when you can get the maximum out of the car.
It is indeed, and some of them even as well may even go for some hard strategy here. May seem the rain dying down later on in the race and pop on some softs, I mean, or hards or mediums, and go to the end on them. Yeah, it could be a possibility, but I doubt it will be tonight here, as we are looking fair. We're looking now not at the front of the field now anymore. We're not. We're looking at Mansell, here we are, and Luke Bailey right now.
Overtook Hookie into sector 2, so Mansell is through and he's into P9 now, and further behind Omex has started from the back of the grid as this yellow flag somewhere.
Cassidy's made a mistake.
Cassidy?
No, it was Martin.
It's Martin who's made the mistake in the Renault, and Cassidy's into the pits already, so is that a wing change for him?
Let's have a look.
No, he's mediums.
Wow.
Interesting.
It may have been.
It's still raining, and that's a really interesting decision.
They may have been told at the start of the race that it was only going to be a short flurry of rain, but it still is raining, so we'll have to wait and see what he can do here. We'll give you some lap times he does there. A little bit of a slide as he coming out the pits there, he does, but back up the front we go now, and it's Mackett trying to get past Cow and Rob here. He is. Let's see if Mackett can do it into the braking zone. No, he can't. He backs off and decides not to get past there, or can't get past, I mean.
No, it's too risky to overtake there, James. It's the corner is tight, and even it gets ever tighter after the apex, and then there's a short burst of acceleration before you turn right. So it's a difficult one, and especially in these wet conditions. It's 3 laps in, but the driver still might be getting used to these conditions, so probably would have been a risky move had Mackett gone for the overtake on Rob there. But up front, Shoaib had a lead of 1.5 seconds, but he has lost a lot of that. That's almost half now, that lead, and it's hardly 6 tenths here now.
Yeah, indeed it is horrible. Yeah, it's not that big gap at the moment. It's not as hairy as then. Hookie's coming in as well, so James and Hookie coming in. Maybe they know that the mediums will work here. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see, but right at the front, Nelly is really close now. Oh, DRS is enabled, so yep, it's time for your dry tyres. But Nelly now is right in the back of Swabe. And DRS is enabled, so he pops that DRS now, he does. Let's see if he can get past here into the braking zone here off the first proper brake place you can do it. Nope, decides better off it there, does Swabe and, not Swabe, sorry, does Nelly, and keeps the position. Does Swabe there, he does, because Nelly didn't want to go through. Mediums for a lot of the drivers now. It's, Martin's just come into the pits and goes onto the mediums as well, but we'll have to do a wing change as well in the pit stop as there he will, so he will be there a little bit further back. But the top lot here all separated. The top 6 are, by the way, if you wanted to know, your top 6 are only separated by 2.1 seconds. The top 5, sorry.
It's really close at the top here, and as Mackett goes really deep into that corner, but he saves the car and hasn't really lost a lot of time there. But it's interesting for the drivers here because they have DRS and they have intermediate tires on, so I'm sure all of these drivers will be diving into the pits here. As look at Cassidy and James, who seems to have gained a lot of time on the drivers up front. So once they make their pit stops, let's see if Hooky can jump a few people here, although he's 22 seconds behind Magna here, so let's see. But yeah, it's definitely medium's time.
Yeah, it is medium's time, or even hards if you really want to go on the hards right now. Let's see, Swabe stays out.
But stays out because he's probably trying to avoid a double stack here, as Quinton is in. But this is going to hurt Swabe. I'm not sure why he stayed out. He is the lead Mercedes. He is the only Mercedes, and from my point of view, it's a very dry track here. I'm not really sure why he has decided to stay out. That's a little puzzling here, as Morris Pace is on those hards, so he would be hoping to go on to the end of the race, I believe, as Cassidy uses those mediums to good effect. He puts the fastest lap of the race.
Well, as you can see, it's not the worst strategy idea for the top two to not come in, because it's not a short pit stop here. Yes, of course, you have that next bit after you come out the pits to actually get off the white line, but not that long pit stop if you think about it really around here. So it's good for these two. These two have a 25-second buffer, so I think they've just done it. They've just got enough to get into that pit, get the stop done, and be out just as the others come to the corner one.
And Nelly and James are having a battle here, and that's contact. And it seems like Nelly would have lost a bit of the front wing. No, I don't think so. His car is fine. The car is fine for the Ferrari, but it seems like James is lagging a bit in that Renault. But James has taken out almost 3 seconds in the last few corners of the
Morris and Hooky are side by side, and Morris keeps the position now on Hooky, but that was close. There it was. That is great for the top two. Here it is. Let's see if they're going to come in or not. Wow, Mackett stays out for an extra lap here.
I'm really puzzled here. This is a little weird to see, as Swabe goes on a set of mediums there. So let's see where he comes out, as Morris and Hooky are still battling. This is the fastest lap of the race. He's going for an overtake there, and look at that. Look at the number of positions Swabe will lose because of staying out for one more extra lap. He might be overtaken by Luke Bailey as well. He is overtaken by Luke Bailey. So look at that. Look at the time he has lost there. And Mansell has overtaken him as well. The man who was on pole and who was leading before the conditions changed.
A mistake from Morris there. Let's Hooky get through. Side by side they go into the next corner after the first DRS zone, into the next corner now, and Hooky's through. Hooky is leading your Grand Prix right now. He is indeed from Morris Pace, because of the drivers who've pitted. Unbelievable.
Hooky is leading, and considering where he started, I think that's a lot of positions gained, and he will be hoping to make use of this medium tires and then probably hope for a safety car to get on a different set of tires, as they are basically gaining 2 or 3 seconds a sector,
Ja
James, on Macket here.
They are, as James gets through, and now here goes Morris, here goes Nelly, back through past Morris Pace. So it is going to be Hucky, James and Nelly who are your top three in this race after the pit stops here tonight.
The yellow flag, is that Luke Bailey? It is, who has lost the car a little bit, but he's fine now, and he has wing damage. We are coming back to Morris Pace as Macket is in the pits now, but Morris Pace not able to use those hard tires to good effect and has lost a lot of positions because of that. Lost two now, and he has Rob behind him.
Omegs is just at fastest lap right now, so let's see what Omegs can do here. Oh, as Luke Bailey leaves the session there, his car does, so that's a shame for him. He must have a bit of internet problems then, as he's lost a bit of time there. But let's go back down the order a bit second. Morris now, it's just lost its Callum Robb, but Callum Robb goes wide, and Morris is back through on Callum Robb because of that mistake. There he is. And at the foreground, Nelly has just overtaken James into P2 now and can hunt down Hucky here and try and get past here. The problem for Mackett was that he comes out in P12 here. He does behind Swabe by 10 seconds.
So he stayed out an extra lap, and that's the amount of time he has lost to Shoaib, because he was right behind Shoaib, if I'm not wrong, when they pitted, maybe a second or so behind.
Yeah, he was 1.9 behind.
Yep, so 2 seconds, and he has lost 8 seconds there.
Yes, which is not good at all. It's not good at all there for him. There it's not, but here we are then with the battle on our hands here between Cowan Robb and Morris Pace. It's the closest one at the top. Here it is, and it's the one that everyone is looking at. Here it is. It was an interesting call from I would say who was it? Let me think. From Cassidy, sorry, to come in early, but when Cassidy did come in early, he really proved us wrong, I think, and did it pretty much at the right time.
Yep, it did look a little early for those dry tires, but next lap was definitely the lap where everyone should have pitted, as most of them did. Here goes Rob, he uses his DRS. Morris does have DRS because of the car in front, but Rob is using all his battery here to get past, and Morris does stay ahead, but he does get a 3-second penalty, so that would hurt him later in the race or the end of the race, as up front there's a battle for the lead here.
There is. Let's see what Callum Robb quickly can do here on Morris Pace. Can he do anything into the braking zone? No, he can't. But let's see then. Just to tell you, if you didn't know, Hucky, Division 3, GP3 Hucky is here. This is a great drive from Hucky today. He's a reserve in this league tonight, and Nelly is trying to get past him. Here he is here on the next second straight of this circuit. But Hucky stamping his authority, knowing that he can be in GP2.
Yeah, absolutely. And Hucky was in season GP4 last season.
He was.
So he has a lot of pace and seems to be competing, and really competing in every tier he is a part of. So good on him, and let's hope he keeps his performances up for the rest of the season as well.
Let's hope he does. As we see, Nelly sets the fastest lap of the race there. Cowan Robb, at the last corner, goes wide and gets a 3-second time penalty because of it, which is not good to see there. It's not on board with Nelly. Then we go. Let's see if he can get past Hucky here. It'll be lovely to see if he can here. It will.
Schwab is pitting. Does he have damage here?
Let's have a look and see. Before we do, Nelly, sorry to butt in here. Down the inside goes Nelly, and he's done it off the DRS zone there. He does. Up into P1 he goes. And Cowan Robb, side by side they go, and he's past Morris Pace for P4 as well. Just saw the end of that one we have there. And Omegs makes his way past Cowan. Makes his way past Morris Pace as well, but a bit too shoved into the wall there. Maybe a report at the end of the race for that, but I doubt it.
That was a little sketchy from Omegs, a little opportunistic from him as well. But I think the move was on there, because Morris had gone a little deep into that corner because of an overtake by Rob, and Omex did not really wait long to take advantage of that. So there's still a lot of time in this race and a lot of laps to go. And since the drivers, especially the top 8, are so close to each other, there will be plenty of opportunities as James gets a 3-second penalty. And Schwab now, after pitting, is on those hards, so he will definitely go on to the end unless there's a safety car where you would like to change your tires.
Indeed, he will. So, just to say, oh, into the wall goes Morris Pace there. Don't know if he's lost a bit of wing damage. I doubt he has. Yes, he has actually. He's pitting now. He's again for another bit of wing. I think Morris Pace is here. But just to say, everybody here will have to pit again because mediums, as we say, well, you probably didn't say, but as we say, can only probably last you to lap 25. So you are lucky if you can get these mediums to the end of the Grand Prix. Here you are. So you're looking maybe for a hard compound to go on to. Or maybe,
yeah, you are.
maybe.
Yeah, you're right, and this has really ruined Morris's race as well because he was already on those hard tires, so he can't go on another set of hards right now. So he has to choose those mediums, which should go to the end now. If he's put them on lap 10, it would be a stretch, but they might be just able to make it. But he can't really go on another set of hards, so.
No, he can't. And right at the front of the field here, Calvin Robb is literally nearly crashed into the back of James there because he was trying to get past him here. And here he goes then, trying to get past James. He does. 3 wide they were for a second there. Omegs was there as well in the battle, but no. Nobody's going to try and get through them. Calvin Robb here trying to get through past James, who is quicker then. Let's see if he can.
It's smart racing by Omegs, I must say. He's, as Magna has overtaken Mackett there. Yeah, he has. Mackett is down a place and into the last points paying position. But yeah, Omegs is using the battles up front and he's gaining on them. And then when the two battle it out, that's where he strikes and makes his move. So that's smart. He's not getting too involved right now. But he will wait, and then the move is just about on, and that's when he will try to find a way through.
It will indeed. Let's see what can happen here then, as here he goes then, does Calvin Robb, he gets the DRS open on this lap here on lap number 11, let's see if he can get through, side by side they go, oh, nearly touched James there, but he's through past James, very nicely, there he is, makes a little mistake though, so James makes it go side by side into the next corner, but nope, Calvin Robb is through and away. 2 attempts away now he is, pulling away now he is, as you can just see he was waiting to get past James there and has finally done it. 1.4 seconds separate Nelly and Hooky, who Hooky will be delighted actually to be on the podium at the moment, he will hear, knowing that he's not even in this league or division.
Absolutely. A GP2 race where a GP3 driver gets a podium should be good, as Omegs has comfortably overtaken James here for P4.
He has indeed. A bit further behind that is Quintin here. Quintin has had an on and off season, but he will try and rectify it tonight and get a good position tonight. If you don't class Hooky as a racer, because I don't think you do, only, by the way, for reserves, by the way, I think it is, only drivers who are for the team get the points, but the driver doesn't. And that means that Quintin will get P number 5 at the moment if it stays as we are to the end of the Grand Prix.
Right, he will get that P5 position, but I believe Hooky in the Alpha Tauri will be getting points for the constructors. But Nelly has gone off at the distance here, the gap is more than 2 seconds. And next up for James is going to be Quinton, who seems to be on a charge here and would be looking for a play past the Renault. Here goes Quinton, takes the outside line. Let's see if he was able to brake later. He's pushed wide there, and James does keep the position right now as Morris Pace on those new medium tires. Puts the fastest lap, and
we'll have to see what happens here with, as we say, Quintin. As we say, only time will tell for Quinton here. Only time is basically to tell if he will get past or not. But let's see.
Magna gets a 3-second penalty for track limits. And interesting, the front two don't have any penalties at all. Kevin Robb does. I believe that's a 3-second penalty for him. Yes, that is. James with a lot of penalties, 6 seconds already. And then Quinton with 3-second time penalties to his name. Magna in P10 has 9 seconds of penalties. Morris with 3. And Schwab with 8 seconds. I believe 5 of those were for speeding under the pit lane.
Yep. That is correct. Let's see what then Quinton can do this time. We're going to keep on board with this battle here close on circuit right now. It does, by the way, this circuit sometimes can have great racing, or sometimes you can have racing where the cars just spread out around the circuit, and we don't want that. Of course we don't. But let's see then what Quinton can do then here. Is he trying to get past James? Here he is.
Yeah, and the race will come to light when when there's a pit stop around, because they are definitely not being able to take these mediums to the end. So we should have a good strategy at play here, and should get a 3-second penalty. So that's 11 seconds of penalties he has right now. And yeah, as I was saying, once pit stops are around the corner, we should be seeing some close battles and undercuts and overcuts being attempted. So we will keep an eye out on that as well.
We will. As Quinton right now heads down the straight, now he does. Let's see what Quinton can do here with DRS open. Nothing on the back of James at the moment. James is pulling away a tiny bit here, but Quinton is still there, knocking on the door every lap here, trying to get past James' ears for the position here. As we'll head back up a second here because the gap's gone down. Omex to Karen Robb was 1.5. It's now 1.4. So a 10th down on that sector. Oh, another 10th down there to 1.3. So let's see then what's really going to happen here.
Is James in the pits? He is. James has lost it. So the Renault, that's the final sector where he has lost the car, and probably his wing. No, there's no wing damage, so that's just a spin which happened. And that's James in P9 right now, and Rob has actually pitted on a set of hards here, James. So Rob will be going to the end.
He has. Let's see then what Mansell could do though on Cassidy. Down the inside he goes into the braking zone after the first DRS zone. Pushes Cassidy wide. Cassidy's still in the lead though of this little scrap. He is here, but no, Mansell gets P5 now, and into P5 he goes. It was simply all it was there. If you wanted to know, everyone who's watching, was Cassidy makes a little mistake, and Mackett's now through. But what basically happened there was Cassidy was in the corner first. Mansell was next to him, and Mansell went down the inside, and literally nowhere Cassidy could go really, and had to go a little bit wide and come back on, and that's all that really happened there. Cassidy must have done something wrong, because he's, what's the word I'm saying, slower, then let Mackett through there somehow, so something must have happened there. But
yeah, he did
yeah.
get Mackett through, so as a safety car, and
Why?
This is very, very opportune, as I think the front runners were nearly is in the pits. I don't see an incident anywhere. Is there a Renault stranded? I'm not really sure.
Oh, it's James. It's got his front wings come off.
Oh, Hookie gets a 5-second. That's a real shame. And James, who had just pitted, no, it was someone else because he had just spun on the previous lap, has now, because of the safety car, has a chance to bring his race back to life. And this is exactly what a lot of drivers were hoping for. And they now will be bunched up before we get underway again.
They will indeed here. So all the drivers will be underway, bunched up, as you say. But it's unfortunate there. It's what happened. Basically, we don't know. We weren't on board. We couldn't see what happened. But all I know is that James must have spun it or just hit the wall and lost his whole front wing, and that's where the safety car has come out. Minimum time on this game is 2 laps. So we have 2 laps here for the safety car. here we will, as we go on board now, we will with the leader of the race, who is behind the safety car right now. He is indeed in sector 2.
Yeah, and it's Mansell who has decided to stay out, so I think he is committed to take these tires to the end, which should not be much of a challenge. And if he's able to make use of that track position, he should be looking good here. There are very fast drivers behind him, as everyone except Mansell and Martin have pitted. I'm not really sure why Martin did not pit there, but he is on those hard tires and he didn't really have a lot of track positions to gain either, so not sure what was going on in his mind. But either ways, this basically resets the race, James, and we should be seeing a lot of close racing from here on.
If it's anything like the start of the race, Mansell, we had great battles we did at the start. We're going to hopefully get that again. Still all 14 racing, by the way, and I would not have said that on this circuit with about half race distance nearly gone here.
Absolutely no DNFs at all, and while there were a couple of spins from drivers around, especially James in the Renault, but he has still kept his car intact and he is in P11, so he could still score some points and should be a fun to watch, honestly. And I think the safety car will go around for a couple of laps because there are drivers who are yet to catch up to the pack, so it's a bit of a cool down right now, but should be in for a good second half of the race as they're almost halfway through here.
They are indeed. There we go. The strategy's out now. If you want to pit from your first tyres to mediums, it is the time to do it now, apparently. So that's what the game says anyway. But yeah, you are correct in saying this. We still have, by the way, we still have Luke Bailey. Swabe gets another penalty for cutting a corner there to try and catch up, I think, with the pack. I think that's what he's trying to do here. We still have Swabe, and we still have Martin and Luke Bailey here trying to catch up with the safety car gang of cars, but this should be last lap behind the safety car here.
It could be. I still see, so Martin will catch up, or rather Shoaib will catch up, and Luke Bailey and Martin will be a long way off before the safety car reaches sector 3 here, so let's see. It helps Mansell. The longer the safety car goes on, the lesser laps he has to do on those 10-lap-old hard tires. So he would be hoping that the safety car stays out for at least one more lap, and then actually come into the pits for the drivers to go racing.
Indeed. But let's see.
As Martin gets a 3-second penalty, so that is again him trying to catch up to the field. And do we have confirmation yet, James, that the safety car is in? I don't think we do.
No, not yet. So I'll head to the leader. No, we haven't had confirmation yet. Normally it's around now or the next little chicane bit, and that is where we find out safety cars popping in. So we have, if safety could be now, the safety car pops his lights off, but that's a very late call if it is. No, he's staying out for one more lap then, the safety car. Yep.
Yeah, one more lap, so Martin and Luke Bailey will catch up to the field, and we have 3 people who have already stopped thrice in this race. That's Morris Pace, Shoaib and Martin, and just one person in the entire grid, that's Mansell, who's leading right now, who has stopped only once.
Indeed, that's true. Let's have a look at the chat if anyone's talking. Nope.
No, we don't have any comments right now, but in terms of positions, the biggest gainers are Omex in P4. He climbed 10 positions, and Mansell has climbed a lot of positions as well. From P9 he started, and he is leading right now. And Shoaib is person who has lost the most positions there. With starting on pole, he's in P12. Probably should have pitted a lap earlier than he did, but the best part of this is that there's a safety car, so they are bunched up now, and he has a chance to make a lot of overtakes. He has to be careful with penalties, though. He has got a lot of penalties, so if he wants to ensure that even if he makes those moves, he has to pull a gap to the car behind so that he can nullify those time penalties as such.
Indeed, we'll wait about a couple more corners to see when the safety car is coming in this lap or not. Should be. As we wait for that to happen, if you are enjoying this, please do smash a like. If you are wanting to as well, please do subscribe. And if you want to comment, you can do as well. We have Callum Smith saying, "Gonna be interesting the restart." And then he goes, "Go Quintin." So there you go, a Quintin fan. But yeah, very interesting it's going to be for the restart then. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think we're going to see a breakaway, or do you think we're just going to see everybody bunched up?
I think Nelly and Hooky both will be really determined here to get past Mansell because they know they are on faster tyres, and hards are much harder to warm up under the city car conditions. So I expect Mansell's tyres to be colder with lesser grip, and Omex is behind, and as usual he would want to take advantage of any battling that goes on in front of him. So it should be a very interesting restart, and it will be also interesting to see where Mansell actually decides to go here, because there are a lot of corners and you can strategically decide to actually go green and go racing and ensure that the car
he spun
Mansell, yeah, he has spun it, and that's absolutely disastrous for him. Oh, that's Hooky gets a time penalty, but we are underway, James.
We are indeed. We're back green, and side by side they go for the front ground. Omeg trying to get past Mansell, trying to get past Hooky. He is here, but we have a sector one off. Oh, James has hit the wall on the start line straight. Is that going to be another safety car? It could be indeed there, another safety car, as I think he was trying to warm his tyres up and spun and hit the wall. I think he did there. But look at Omegs. He's right on the back of Hooky here. We don't have a safety car or anything here, we don't, but he's right on the back of Hooky. Let's see if we can get past him. No, we can't at the moment now, at the end of the first straight, but crazy. First little bit of the race after the restart.
And Morris Pace and Schwab are battling here. Morris Pace is just past, and look at the gap Nelly has over the rest of the pack. Is already 1.7 seconds adrift, so that's a really good gap which he has, and without any penalties so far, he is looking really strong here.
Well, as you can see right now, Mack is right behind Magna, trying to get past him here. He's actually closed in really rapidly here, trying to get past. But in the foreground,
that's Morris. That's Morris who lost it a little bit, and he has conceded that.
They touch, and Cassidy's into the side of Cowan Rob, but he's trying to get through here. Let's see if he can, and he does. Past Cowan Rob he goes, but only just. They touch again. They're still side by side here in these corners. This is great battling here underneath the bridge, underneath the stadium. Well, grandstand they go, and he's through goes Cassidy. That might be a warning to go to stewards for Cowan Rob there, but that is unbelievable. There it is, as here goes Magna now, trying to get past Cowan Rob. He is here. Basically, I think James may have just touched the curb or got touched and spun it in the start line straight and hit the wall. I think that's maybe what James did. I'm not entirely sure. Here he is, but we have one more lap after this one, and then we have DRS again.
Martin is in the pits and he has retired, so that's a retirement from Martin here, and probably a week to forget for him. As up front, it's a lot of battling here. As Magna is trying to make a move on Rob here. Does he go for it? It was a half-hearted attempt, but he stays behind for now, as Mackett is trying to again take advantage of the battling up front, but he has to stay behind for now. So the McLarens have had their work cut out here.
We are indeed, you are right. Let's see if he can get through then. Can Mackett? I don't think he can at the moment, but I think he is going to try. as they do head around now, they do here. But it's going to be really interesting to see what happens here. It is. Which it is going to be. Sorry about that, something happened there for a second. But DRS is now enabled as they come out now. They do. What about Quintin now? He's right on the back. Oh, we have a spinner, and that's Swabe. Has spun it and hit the wall. Could that be another safety car here on circuit? He is blocking the circuit from Luke Bailey. Here he is. But is that going to be another safety car or not? Let's check and see. No, it's not. But is he going to pit?
Now.
No, he's not going to pit though.
He has no wing damage, so doesn't need to pit. That's a lot of visions he has lost here. Oh, Morris is in the pits.
Oh, it was Morris that had them spin then, maybe. That's interesting to see then. But he's back on circuit now, Morris is, and heading away now he is as well. He is indeed. Out he comes then. But back we go to the battling, and it's still Magna trying to get past Cow and Rob now. But Mackett is right on the back of him here, pushing him around. Here he is, which is very interesting to see as well. It is here. Will be the key thing here. It will, as he tries again. Mackett does to get through, but can't at the moment. Here he can't. As yeah, it's going to be really interesting. There it is to see. Football is on at the moment, but yeah, as you can see right now.
Yep.
Mackett is. Oh, look at this. Mackett's really close now. He is here as they're about to head into the grandstand. Here they are. If you are watching this right now, ladies and gentlemen, you are, or racing, and you are a football fan, Chelsea are playing right now, and they're 1-0 up. As Mackett now comes out of the last corner now, he does. Can Mackett? Oh, he's made a mistake. I think he has, and drops a bit back there. He was 3 attempts back. He's dropped it down to 6. But here goes Magna. Can Magna get past Cow and Rob here?
You might want to go up the field here as Omex is lining up a move on Hooky here, James.
Yep, you can take us through that if you want.
Yeah, so here goes Omex. He has DRS and Hooky is out of DRS, so this should be an easy one for Omex as he does go through into P2. So this should be an easy race from here. And here goes Magna on Rob. He's going to go round the outside, but Rob places his car really well there as Magna loses a little bit, but all fine and dandy. And Mackett all the time behind. He's not able to get through these two cars and must have saved a lot of DRS as well. Mackett staying behind his guys. You can see Magna's red light flashing there, so he doesn't have a lot of battery to play with, but he's using up a lot of it to try to get past the Red Bull of Rob.
He sure is indeed trying to get past Rob here with minimal effort, but as you can see, Hooky's closed up back up to 4 attempts. But let's see then as they go down the second DRS zone now. They do not a long one at all around here. It's not. It's probably roughly about maybe 6 or maybe 12 or 13 car lengths, but it's still enough to get that DRS popped on, get down it, turn it off, and it's good. A good day it is there. So it's not that far really, but it's a good one at the end of the day around here. But he's still really trying absolutely as hard as he's here. But Quintin now has got Hooky in his sights here on lap 22 out of 31. Now he has because these are battling these three. Just to say, Cassidy has dropped. Was 4 attempts back. He's now 3.7 back, and Nelly is now. Is leading by 3.1 as we have a mistake in the last sector, and that's Swabe.
Swabe again in that Mercedes, and the man who started on pole is not having a great time in the race here.
He's probably good at 1 lap pace then, not good at race pace then it looks like here today. But Hooky still in the podium positions as we speak. Will not score points because he's not from this league, of course he won't, but he will for the team, of course. But he will be so happy though to be on the podium and be keeping the pace with Division 2. Let's see what Quintin can do then here over the Anderson Bridge. Can he close it up here any closer and overtake Hooky here? He wants to overtake him, or else he will not score a podium tonight on the track. He won't here. Let's see if he can though. Brakes late and tries to close up here. He does after. I think that was Around here they do. Down the second DRS straight, now they go, and he's not close enough there down the second DRS straight as they go off it now. Now down underneath the hairpin, underneath the grandstand they go, a little bit later on in the lap now we are. And he really is 5 tenths back now, it's all he is. Mackett is 4 tenths back behind Magna, we'll keep an eye on that one as well. But
Mackett has been staring at the two of these cars for, I don't know, maybe 6-7 laps now, and not able to get through, and that would be really frustrating for him. But he has to be patient, and he knows that there is still 8 laps to go, which is a lot of laps to go as far as this race is concerned, this particular track is concerned, and he has to hope that maybe one of the front two do make a mistake and he finds his way past.
Oh, that's a little bit late there from Quintin. He tried to get past there, he did. Basically what happened was he tried to go down the outside line. Hooky went over to it, he went, thank you, I'll take the inside line, but then broke a bit too late there, and Hooky keeps the position in P3. There he does. Let's see if Mackett can get through here as they exit that corner. No, Mackett can't, as they exit the they've exited the DRS straight they have already, but no, Mackett could not get through, and he keeps behind Magna here, he does here. Karen Robb's pulled away a tiny bit, was 0.3, it's now 0.6 for everyone who's wondering. Swabe doesn't believe he can win this race anymore, puts on the softs now and takes the softs to the end. I bet he will, just about take them to the end, he will here. But it's still only 23 out of 31 right now, and Mackett is trying his hardest here to get past Morris Pace. Not Morris Pace, so he get past Magna here, but we go back to a leader for a second. He has raced this one to perfection so far, he just needs to do that for roughly another 7 or 8 laps.
Yeah, it's really good pace which Eminelli has shown, but Omex is slightly dipping into that lead. It was about 2.5 seconds earlier, and now it's 2.2, so that's 3 tenths gain for Omex. And let's see how the next few laps go, and we will monitor that gap as well. Here goes Mackett, he is really close right now. I don't think he'll go for a move here, but he is getting ever so close to Magna, who is also stuck behind Kevin Robb here.
Yeah, it's Rob who's the slower of the three. We presume here he is. Take it very quickly because we don't have. I'll actually just watch the battle for 2 seconds, then we'll be going to look at this. But here he goes. Then does Magna on Cow and Rob? Is he going to make it through? No, he's not. And same for Mackett. He's not close enough to overtake either. Let me just quickly show you this because this was very interesting to show you very, very quickly. I don't know why I'm showing you this, but very quickly we will. A 1:39.6 was the last lap there from Magna. 1:39.8 for Cow and Rob, and for Mackett it was a 1:39.4. So they're both quicker than, as we say, Cow and Rob here in this race.
Oh, absolutely, and it seems that they can go quicker as well if they have a little bit of a free air in front of them. So right now their pace is being limited by Rob, and let's give credit to him. He is defending quite well here. He must have used his energy as well to defend, but lap after lap, as there are a couple of overtaking zones here, not a lot, but he is placing his car very well. He is defending, and it has been quite respectful for these three around here.
It has indeed, and the gap you were talking about a minute ago was 2.3, 2.1 now. Make that 2 seconds now. The lead gap is swizzling. It is going down rapidly, but here he goes then, does Mackett. Can he make it through here? But before that, we've got Quintin 5 tenths behind Hooky here, and is pushing to try and overtake him here.
You can see the red light flashing for Hooky, and he is using all his DRS, and this could be a move going for Quintin as he's pushed right. That was a bit sketchy there. It was going down the inside. I'm not sure if you're seeing this, but Quintin has gone into the runoff area, and he is going to lose a lot of positions as well as the end plate of his McLaren.
Indeed, we were on board with Quintin at the time when you were talking about that, which is good to see. But here goes Mackett then. Can he get past the Magna here, who is a bit quicker than he is, I believe, so it's going to be interesting there to see what happens there. But oh my goodness me, that was not what Quintin wanted there. It wasn't to do that. He's lost the podium today, we say now.
Yeah, that's his chances of a podium gone here,
Yep.
and the battle for P6 is still on. And the longer Magna has to stay behind Rob, he knows he will lose the position to Macket as well because he has 9 seconds of penalties in that Alpha Tauri. Magna does. As the gap up front is 1.8 and was almost 1.7 now, so Omegs is catching Nelly. Let's see if it is going to decrease further, and once James has left the session, as yet he had DNF'd earlier. But yeah, the gap at the front is interesting to watch as well. But yeah, this is the closest battle right now for P6, which is one Red Bull, one Alpha Tauri, and one McLaren.
Indeed it is. Nobody can get through here, but look at this. Magnus, the closest he has been all race to the back of Callum Robbie is here. Morris Pace has just overtaken Quinton, who has just come into the pits and is coming out in P10. So still scored some points, but will be disappointed when he did that move.
Yeah, stewards will definitely have a look at that, James, because the move was definitely on, and I just believe he was probably not given enough. As Shoaib he has retired, and that's in the pit, so that should be fine as far as other runners are concerned. But what has happened to Rob here? I'm not sure if you noticed this, but Rob span coming out of the hairpin, and Magna and Macket both are through.
Which is good for them too.
Absolutely, they would be happy to see that Red Bull in their mirrors now, but Rob is 9 seconds behind, so not even in the mirrors, and it seems like Rob has wing damage here, depending on the understeer which he's getting. Yeah, he has wing damage, as the gap up front is 1.4, James.
It is indeed. It's coming down rapidly here. It's now 1.3. No, back up to 1.4 it goes. Does this mean Omegs is going to try here? These are the top two, I think, in the championship. As I think I said that right, was I?
I'll just check on that. You are absolutely right. This is for P1 and P2. It's not as Macket goes for a move and he completes that move on Magna. So Macket is through into P5 now, and Morris Pace behind. Yeah, that's just Rob into the pits. Yeah, so Omegs is in P1 in the championship, and Nelly is 17 points behind in P2. So if Nelly does actually win this race, he would gain 7 points on Omegs if fastest laps are not taken into account. So it is important for Nelly as well to ensure that he does get the win. And the lap out of that, the gap has stabilized a bit now. It's 1.6, 1.7 now. So well, Omegs did have the advantage. Maybe his tires are dying a little, and let's see if he is able to catch the Ferrari of Nelly.
Let's see if he is, and let's see if Macket can overtake Cassidy here and pull out a gap on Cassidy of which would mean that it would be more than 3 seconds, meaning he will take the podium. Could be interesting to see that one there from Macket here. It will. On that one, that's just a theory, by the way. He has to overtake Cassidy and hope to get a no penalty here. 4 laps to go now.
Yeah, he has to catch him by almost 1.5 seconds per lap, which probably is not going to happen, depending on. And he's still defending, by the way, from Magna, so he cannot really focus on attacking Cassidy, as he knows he doesn't really need to defend because of the time penalties which Magna has as he goes deep into that corner, and this will give a good chance to Magna to retake that position. Let's see if he goes for it. I think he's going for it.
He is, but can't get through and makes a little mistake exiting the corner. Quintin, fastest lap of the race, gets 2 points. Gets a couple of points now. He will get, I think it's 3 points for finishing in P9, which is good for him now. It will.
Yeah, that's 2 points for the 9th place, as Omegs has DRS on Nelly. So I think that's a mistake by Nelly somewhere, because the gap was more than 1.5 seconds last time around, And this is really interesting now in the final 3 laps of the race. Omex has a real chance here.
It is indeed. 3.25 laps to go here. Really interesting to see what happens here for your lead too. Omeg leading by 17 points in the championship standings will be dropped. It will here to, if it stays as we are, to I believe to about 10 points. So it could be interesting here. I doubt it will be 10 points, but something like that it will be here tonight. But closer, just quickly, just checking Magna right on the back of Mackett here as they head into the last corner, but nothing going to be happening there, nothing going to be done, of course, there. It's not. As the rest of the field are away, they are here. The rest of the field don't really have a battle on our hands here, do we? Actually, we do. Side by side, they go into corner one. Has he made it stick Magna? No, Magna's gone wide and loses the position there. He does. Omeg's now trying to get past Nelly. Is he going to? No, he's not. Off the DRS straight there, decides to better of it as Mackett gets another penalty there. He does. So we'll have to overtake Cassidy now and hope to get a 6-second gap now if he did. But he's too far back, I believe, to not overtake him. So well done Cassidy for a podium today. But yeah. Oh, we didn't see that happening. Quinton's just overtaken Morris, who's pitting now. So there you go. But Omegs, can he overtake your leader of the race right now, which is Nelly?
Rob puts the fastest lap of the race, so that point is no longer with Quinton, it's with Kevin Robb in P9, and I think Omex is just biding his time. He's ensuring that he has enough ERS for probably the last lap or the last two laps, and ensure he can have 1 or maybe 2 goes at Nelly.
Let's see then. As they head across the line now, they do. 5 tenths back now. So with this lap, penultimate lap, we start now. Just to tell everybody who is watching right now how long this race takes, right?
Here goes Omex, and Nelly's light is flashing. So
let's say
he has enough.
Oh, just to say, it is 53 minutes so far this race has taken us, by the way. If you wanted to know, 53 minutes and about 10 seconds this race has taken us. So it's been a long old race this one has here. Normally about 30 to 40 minutes as Swabe decides he's had enough of watching the race and is gone. Let's see then what can happen here then with your top two. Can we get Omegs overtaking Nelly here? Be interesting if that happens, because he will extend the championship lead again by about 7 points over Nelly, which is a lot of points in the grand scheme of things. Here it is. We will try and get the top 3 in the party after the race, which will be, by the way, just to tell you, will be Nelly, Omegs and Cassidy will be a top 3 in the party we'll get in. Because
it's interesting. Let's see if Hookie has enough lap time in the back, because he has to gain 1.8 seconds, which the gap is not really gaining. He's not really gaining on Cassidy, so it seems like Cassidy will finish on the podium.
Yep.
But it's not exactly confirmed yet that Cassidy will be on the podium. As we are on the last lap now, and this is one last chance for Omex.
It is indeed. White flag is now out, as you say. Oh, he looks... Oh! Nearly taps the back of him there in corner 2 and 3, but decides to slow it down just a tiny bit here. He is pushing Omegs. Omegs is here, and Omegs wobbles, and I think that's Omegs' charge over. I think that... I might be wrong, but I think that's Omegs done and dusted for tonight. For the chance to win this race. He tried too hard there, and maybe not actually, because he's closed that in rapidly, but who knows, it could be though. It looked like it might be, but here we go then as he heads now, they do, down the straight here. What a race they've had here tonight. Absolutely brilliant battling all race for the top lot here tonight. But we're going to have a little bit of this actually. I don't know if we are going to have a post-race interviews. We might try and get them in, but we'll see if we can.
It has been a long race for these drivers, and you're right, we did get a battle for the lead. So while it seemed like Nelly had it in the back, but Omex has given him a run for his money as Rob has retired. So Rob has retired. That is really unfortunate here. And the man who had the fastest lap of the race has retired in an unusual position there. So not really happened there. That's on the back straight in the DRS where you usually get the DRS. And yeah, he has lost it at the exit of that corner of the right hander. And this is a shame for him because he would have had got some points here as up front it's Nelly who wins the Singapore race with Omex behind and Hooky. What did I tell you, James? Look at the gap which Hooky has on Cassidy. It will be Hooky who finishes on the podium because he has enough of a gap on Cassidy there. So it's Hooky, Omex and Nelly, your top three, with Mackett finishing just behind Cassidy in P5, Magna in P6, or rather Magna in P7 because Mackett just gets his position because of time penalties. Quinton will finish in P8, Morris in P9. Rob did retire, so I believe it should be Luke Bailey who seems to have lost connection to the lobby, so I'm not sure how his points will be counted if he finishes ahead of Rob. But that has been a fantastic race. And James, once you're back, let's try to get in the podium getters here.
Yeah, let's try. I am still here, by the way. I was just thinking, well done to everyone. And there you go then, last crosses the line now. What a race that was. Absolutely brilliantly there from... We'll get Hooky in actually, because that was a quality drive from Hooky there. Omegs drive his day, and he well deserves it. Omegs does for a cracking drive there. He does from last. Nonetheless. Well, I'll give you...
Let me just get Hooky in. It's Hooky underscore 66.
I can get well, I'm not supposed to be, but I can get one of them in for you if you want. If you get Omegs in, I'll be very quick and do this, but nah, wait, just 1 second. Yes, please. If you can do. Well, as we come back into the game now, sorry for that little pause there, but it is Nelly wins by 3 tenths over Omegs, Hooky second, Cassidy third, Mansell fourth, Mackett fifth, Magna seventh, sorry, 8th will be Quintin, 9th will be Morris Pace, 10th will be Karen Robb, 11th Luke Bailey, then it's Swabe, Martin, James, who were non-finishers. Just to say as well, by the way, if everyone will go up a position because Hooky, but Hooky still gets the recognition tonight as a podium as the race is done. Let me check who you've got in here, the party, very quickly. Who have you got in here? Yeah, we'll hold Hooky in just 1 second. If you're here, Hooky. Let me just very quickly get in. Very quick here on this one. Well, we'll just wait a second for some drivers to come in. I don't think X Gamer will want to. Not X Gamer. I mean, I don't think Omegs will want to join, but we'll wait and see. If he does, he will. Well, we've got a couple in here. I don't know if Omegs will join or not, so we'll have to wait and see for that one in a little bit of time. But do you want to talk to Hooky first?
Yeah, absolutely. Hooky, what a race from you. And how does it feel to be racing amongst Gp2, being a Gp3 driver? And how was your race around this tough track? Because we started in very tricky conditions.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can, loud and clear.
Yeah. My mic is temperamental, so sometimes it goes fuzzy. But yeah, no. It's good knowing that I can put performances in like that against people that are a league above me. Since last season with Dan, we were constructors champions, and I found myself a bit more comfortable on street circuits for some reason. Last night didn't really go the way I imagined it. I don't know if you've seen on Discord, I kind of threw my toys out the pram a little bit. But yeah, I apologised for that, and today was kind of a redemption drive to show that I am capable of being up there with some of the best drivers, you know. So thank you for letting me race in GP2, and I just hope I can put these performances in to GP3 because my luck's been terrible.
Indeed, but you did turn around your luck today, and what a battle it was between you and the drivers around you. And from P8 to P3, that's a really, really good drive. So congratulations, Hooky, and we hope to seeing more of you in GP2 as well when there are seats, and to give these guys a challenge as well, and to know that probably they have another driver challenging for their spot in GP2. But well done, Hooky, and
Yes,
you want to have a word with Nelly?
Yeah, but before we do, Hooky, if you're still there,
Yep.
what was it like then? I think You Can Beat Me just said it, but what was it like with that battles with I think it was like 3 or 4 around you?
Yeah, I knew I have a little bit more confidence in the wet, so that I think that played to my advantage a little bit. But yeah, I had a little tangle with Mackett, I think, in the McLaren in my first stint with the mediums. Nothing intentional. I do apologise for potentially ruining your race, but yeah, it's good. I find it good to learn off the faster drivers like Omegs, Nelly, untouchable again as ever. But yeah, you know, it's always good to see the different lines other drivers take to try and learn from it and put it into your own drive. So yeah, like I said, it's always a brilliant experience just to reserve in a tier above you, you know. So like last season, I did reserve a few times in GP3, which made me want to try and drive for GP3. But yeah, no, again, it's a brilliant experience to drive with quicker drivers, to pick up bits and bobs and take it into your own race, you know.
Yeah, well done again anyway for coming in P3.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And yeah, we'll see you. Everyone will see you again tomorrow. Not tomorrow, sorry, next week. Sorry, in GP3 for Russia, which is going to be
thank you very much.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, cheers.
Right, cheers. But we're going to now head to the man who, well, I would say for about 7 or 8 of them, ever since he got to the lead, had a massive gap of 3 seconds, and must have been bricking it a tiny bit at the end of the race there, because Omegs was only 3 tenths behind him. It's Nelly.
Yeah! Woo! Let's go! Oh, I had to get that out. Oh my god, he's so quick. Oh, my tyres were shot for like the last 7-8 laps or something. And I got a warning on lap 21, my second warning. And I just tried, bloody, on par, I'm quicker than him around Singapore. But I feel pressure so much, and I held off. I don't know. I'm a beast, but I'll take the victory. Let's go.
Were you surprised that the rain actually ended at the time it did, or did you know it was going to be like the first 2 laps or 3 laps that was going to be wet?
We knew it was going to be wet. That's why we did laps on the softs. I think all of us would have done laps on the mediums in quali. But we saw on the weather it was going to be wet. Jeff said come in, but Jeff, you never come in when Jeff tells you to. You come in when DRS changes. Wait, it says DRS enabled. I went round the last corner when it said DRS enabled. Hooky, congratulations, by the way. Bloody hell. What an inspired decision to spit straight away. And he's bloody third. Full on respect to my John Cena brethren. No one could see me and Hooky today. It was crazy. Normally, yeah, I went round the corner and it said DRS enabled. I would have got out in front of him, but because the Ferrari's at the back of the pit lane, I had to wait for so many drivers to go past. I think it was like 3 or 4 cars, and then I went deep, coming out the pit lane, nearly went over the white line, but I survived. Then I just had to overtake Hooky. Mansell, I understand what he was doing on the hards, but because the track was green for quite a few laps, he was going to lose so much time. I survived. And I just want to give a big shout out to Hooky and big shout out to Omex. He's so quick, but I'm not giving up on this championship. No way.
Well, today, because you came first, I think that's 7 points you gain. Well, not 7 points, but I think it is 7 points.
Yeah, it is 7 points.
Of gain.
10 points between
I think it's down to 13 points now.
Yeah, it's down to 13, so it's going to be close now at the end of this championship to fight up with him. But looking at the race as well today, were you surprised? I know you probably didn't see it, but were you surprised with Mansell when he pitted early for the dries? I know you probably didn't see it, but basically. So actually, let's rephrase the question. Were you surprised that Mansell stayed out when you pitted then, when you saw him in front of you?
On the safety car?
Yeah.
No, yes and no. Yes, in the sense that he's got the hard tyres, he can take him to the end. Extra couple laps. But no, in the sense that everyone's going in for new mediums against his hards will still go last at the end. But maybe he thought the mediums, they would drop off. Like, you saw me how slow I was at the end. My mediums dropped off so much, like 15, 16 laps. But I understand what he was doing. I think she just should have gone on the mediums in the first place. But you got to mix things up in F1 to try and win. So respect to him for doing that. Respect to him for giving us entertainment and not hitting me off the road when overtaking. Thank God, thank Lord.
Yeah, it was a surprise there when you did make contact. Was it? What did happen?
I did not touch anyone. I behaved myself this race. I didn't hit Quinton again. Yeah, basically it was just surviving the wet. Morris had a moment. I got past Morris. I was quicker. You can overtake in the dry around here. It's so difficult to overtake in the wet. I just couldn't get past Shoaib. If I got past Shoaib, I think I would have come out in the lead when I pitted for the dries. But life is life. I'm going to take the victory. I'm going to get absolutely fully hammered tonight. So respect.
And last question for me anyway is going to next week. Another kind of street circuit next week in Russia. You looking forward to that?
Yes, I do like Russia. I do need to get some more practice down on it. Right, I'm not looking forward to next week right now. I'm not looking to next week right now. I'm just going to go. I'm going to get absolutely drunk and just enjoy this win.
Okay, well you do that. But before that, you can beat me if you got anything to say.
Nah, mate, I think you've covered it all, and let's let Nelly go and celebrate. Yeah, I think he has had a long race with a couple of safety cars involved. So.
Yeah, we'll go and end the stream as well then, because we probably have things to do as well. So because there's football on. But anyway, yeah. So well done again to Hooky. Credit where credit's due to get that podium in a in the division above you. And well done to Nelly for winning and keeping the championship hopes alive.
Oh, I'm going to destroy him. Run, Omegs.
Well, yeah. So again, as we say, thank you, Hooky, and thank you again, Nelly, for joining us here in the for post-race interviews.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
That's all right. And in a bit then. And well done, and thanks again. You can beat me for joining us.
Right, had a good race, and congratulations, Hookie, Nelly, and Omex if you're watching later on. Have a good night.
Yep, we'll join us next week then when we're all of the divisions are in Russia. Join GP2 for next week in Russia, but join tomorrow night if you want to for the final time, I think it is in Singapore, for your GP1. Join us for that if you can. But from all of us here at GP2, it's goodbye. Well done again to Nelly, and see you next week in Russia. Goodbye.